I planned my pregnancy around this event like a clown. I scheduled my uncle-in-law's funeral around this event.
Money on an event and this ball and having to walk into that is unacceptable.
How are 80 attendees going to buy books from 120 authors? Riddle me that. I lost nearly $3,000.
Attendees, authors, vendors, tattoo artists, narrators are out a lot of money. Confirmed that I was attending, and the map didn't show me as having a table.
Ball is not it.
I want to apologize. If you would like a refund, please contact me and I will issue a refund immediately.
Let's discuss A Million Lives, the Baltimore Book Festival disaster that has taken Book Talk by storm in the last couple of days. Now, event planning is a professional skill that is challenging and meticulous, and even at the most prestigious events in the world, accidents happen. It's very easy. But this is not that. This is a case where the density of failure is so profound, it would be more difficult to find something that went right about this convention from beginning to end. So I'm going to do what I always do on this page. I'm going to give you the TLDR. I have also tagged all of the creators whose content that I will be using as a source of commentary. But more than that, this is not just an entertaining story. This is also an unfortunate event that has affected these artists and their livelihoods in an industry where it's already quite difficult to earn a living. So if you can't check out their books and support them financially, I implore you to check out their pages and support them algorithmically, because they did not deserve this utter farce of an event, and I think they deserve a follow, they deserve a like. Their videos are also incredible. You will see there are receipts.
Million Lives Book Festival happened, and
This disaster of an event happened so recently that you can actually still find the advertisement for it on apps like Eventbrite, which is where this is from. Here is the description that was advertised to ticket buyers, just so you can have an idea of what was promised, what the expectations were, so that you can then see how they were so not met. So this was at the Baltimore Convention Center on May the 2nd and 3rd. This was for fantasy and romance readers, with over 120 indie authors and featured authors that were going to be in panel events. There was going to be personalized swag merch. There was going to be this lavender ball. We will get to the ball.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
One of the main whistleblowers for this controversy so far has been author Percy J. At this point, she has 3 parts to her video series explaining what went down, patiently waiting for the 4th part because she is a brilliant storyteller. Her books must be great because the way she drawed you in with this tale, it was incredible.
Y'all, there were maybe 30 people. And this was an all-day situation. I don't even know if this panel happened. We had our lunch break at noon, and to announce the lunch break, the event organizer walked into the event hall and just screamed that we're taking a lunch break. No bullhorn, no PA system, just everybody get out. But also, here's the tea. The event hall wasn't locked for lunch break. People didn't want to abandon their tables if people were still there. Also, we didn't have badges. The badges broke.
And I'll also be referring a lot to her friend and fellow author Callista Neath, who was also at the event. Again, she has a 3-part video commentary that is excellent. Go check it out.
This is such false advertisement. I am so heated for the poor readers that came here, especially the readers who came to see me. I'm like, what in the...
Archer Fantasy Events is the company that organised this whole convention. They approached authors that they wanted to feature in panels and stuff for as long as 18 months before the actual event. So they were approaching them way back in 2024 saying like, hey, we are putting on this event. It's going to be one of the biggest literary events of the year. If you pay like $150, you can be part of it. You can also sponsor us for an extra $250, which will mean that your logo, your like books, all of that will be put into like a personalized swag bag for VIPs, and it will be advertised on our website, etc. Again, thank you to Percy and Callista for these brilliant receipts. So these were the options that were presented to them as prospective authors that were going to attend the event. And when I tell you, practically all of these things that were promised to them based on the amount they paid were not delivered on. We will get to the merch and the swag bags, but the advertisement never happened. Like, the amount of advertisement that you would expect for a convention of this scale to really get it heard and to get enough people to attend didn't happen.
My God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
They were also told, again, way back in 2024, that they were going to be put up in the local Hilton hotel, all expenses paid for them, so that they actually had accommodation for the event, which is, of course, very necessary and has to be booked quite a while in advance. Only to be then told that fell through and they would have to be put in the budget hotel just down the road from that, the Days Inn Baltimore Inner Harbour. This was the email that was sent to Callista telling her about this. What a mess. Especially when, so Callista and Percy are friends. Percy was pregnant with twins, so it's obviously not going to be easy for her to move down the street to this other hotel with all of her like baggage, and Callista had to help her. A bunch of the other authors had mobility issues as well, and reasons that would make it difficult for them to just suddenly change hotel. Like, that's not okay. You can't just do that. Not to mention that the coordinator, Grace, I think her name is, we'll get to her soon, when she went to then go pay for their stays at the Days Inn, she then couldn't, claiming that her accounts were frozen, and so Callista at least had to pay for her own room.
He says, I don't want to be unprofessional and bother her. And I'm like, look, she is the one that set this up and is the one being not professional, and her credit card's not going through, and you have other human beings coming here.
So that was an unfortunate setback. But remember, in the high 500s for the event, a lot of attendees, a lot of opportunity to make, some money back and to get these books sold. Actually, never mind. The numbers have been pretty consistent across the different authors and creators. They've said that there were definitely less than 80 attendees, although it was difficult to actually know who was an attendee because there were no ID badges, no wristbands, no actual form of knowing who's an author, who's just an attendee. Madness, pure madness. Imagine marketing this as one of the biggest literary events of the year for romance and fantasy fans, and this is the sign that you're confronted with when you show up at the Baltimore Center. Huh? What? No decorations in sight. This is what you show up to. Just a table with that wonderful sign and a few people sitting at it. Mess. Pure mess. This was the graphic that was made up for them that told them what the original seating plan was going to be, which was important for a convention, of course, to know where you're going to be sat as an author, especially when a lot of these authors are friends and wanted to sit together. This ended up not happening because it was a compromise of fire safety in the convention center, so they had to completely change the plan, didn't tell the authors, so the authors then didn't know where they were supposed to be sat, which is why some of them then didn't have a place to sit. This is the price breakdown for the attendees. So you can see the flat fee was $50 and then it went up to $150, then $250. If we look at the $50, one of their main assets was the content creation room. That was closed on the Saturday. You just straight up couldn't go in there. And when you went in there, it was just a room. As for the Cloud Walker, so the goodie bags, they were thrown away. So these authors who put their personalized book merch into these bags to promote their stuff, thrown away, never given to the attendees. Madness. What? Surely they've gone somewhere, someone has stockpiled them and is now reselling them, because there's no way things like that don't just disappear.
Some people were told they could bring their kids and did, and I'm talking babies, toddlers, middle schoolers, and some authors were told that it's perfectly fine to display their not safe for work spicy art prints. So you got some art with, frankenbeans and tater tots out.
Then we get to the panels. So the narration panel, I believe, was one of them. No chairs for the attendees. Sit on the floor like your 6-year-olds. Tragic. And then the BIPOC panel. So this was interesting. Callista was talking about how it was moderated by a non-BIPOC, non-book talk, someone who's not even in the book space, but just has a journalism degree and was just asking the same questions over and over again. So not a proper moderator, not someone with any industry experience. where did you find this person? Of course, the Lavender Ball, this opulent party that the whole convention was building up towards, there was nothing. No decorations, barely any people, pure mess. And this is when Callista went up to Grace, the event coordinator, and was like, this is unacceptable. Like, if people will approach you for refunds and you need to give them their refunds. And this is what I love. Okay, Callista, like, you're so real for this. So the event coordinator went up to people and was like, oh yeah, I'll talk to them about it. She was like, no, you make a social media post about it so that they really know, and you tag me in it. So let's watch the social media post.
Hi everybody, I am wanting to issue a formal apology. I do understand that the ball tonight was not set up to standards. There were a lot of issues with getting set up and it was not set up well. I want to apologize. If you would like a refund, please contact me and I will issue a refund immediately. Thank you.
They have another convention in October, so book your tickets now because this will be remembered as a legendary convention for all the wrong reasons. I choose to believe that this didn't come from a mean-spirited place, that this was just the inadequacy of trying to arrange something that is on such a bigger scale than what you're capable of doing, because everything went wrong. Everything. But yeah, what do you think? Comment below and go support all of these creators because yikes, I've never seen something like this.